boy, very, very big boy, but it can be kind of interesting to see how, like, his crouch sort of opens things up in terms of meta. And here we go. We're already starting things off.
Ooh, sleepy down with the far slash. Okay.
Yeah, this is pretty much what you would expect to see from this type of matchup. Testament ended up in the corner, tried to teleport to the bird, but instead now has their back to the wall. Yeah, this is kind of impressive.
Knowing how Sleepy plays, he definitely does not like being too kind of, what's the word, kind of too far from the opponent, but he does like to keep his kind of space and ooh. Kind of definitely keep his space, so I like to see how he deals with that.
And this is like sort of part of what I was talking about. Great combo from Sleepy DM is going to break the wall and get that positive bonus. But this is sort of what I was talking about. You see the crouch is playing a pretty pivotal role in avoiding those birds. And in some situations, if she ever tries to do, if Testament ever tries to do the overhead, like that, for example, he can crouch under. He can play outside of that space, out of that range. He has a minimum range on that. But even still, Testament is hard to sort of go in against, especially once you have that curse applied to you as Sleepy.
Oh, most definitely. It's like what's the word? Kind of close-up brawler's worst nightmare to try to get in, especially with those birds and those curses.
Okay, nice, good spin. So far, keeping the pressure on, doing well. This has been the situation that we saw before that ended up with Sleepy with their back to the corner, even though it didn't really change much, allowed them to connect around. It's them playing this more passive back game. That 6HS is going to play a huge role in terms of controlling the neutral space, and it is working quite well against Q9, but Q's doing a good job at adapting.
Very much so. Q9 is definitely the sort of player who can adapt very well to a lot of their situations. I've seen them kind of go from losing against a matchup that was absolutely losing in their favor to absolutely stop them in the 2-3 matchup in the round.
And Sleepy DM's going to take that one. I think what was like most interesting about that was Sleepy's sort of unwavering, their sort of unwavering neutral. They knew what their game plan was and they stuck with it. Every time it is, even if it ended up with their back to the wall, they still played it pretty much the same, tossing out the occasional 6H, trying to find a couple of stray buttons, tossing out the crow, forcing Faust to crouch under a lot of those projectiles it is that they were throwing out and trying to outspace Testament's neutral. It can be really hard. Once he's in, Faust has to stay in, but that faultless defense is keeping him back, and what makes it so hard for him to stay in Testament's face.
Yeah. Especially since, like, Testament does have some really good buttons to, like, you know, kind of counteract them getting in, especially with the Reaver, Grave Reaver, that's the word, sorry, apologies, and their kind of close and far S's. Those are very good ones to kind of keep them out of range. You know, especially if this, the thing is, their 6H is a good thing to kind of keep them out when it comes to trying to get in.
Oh wow, manages to make it over despite the air dash being a little bit wonky and still keeping the pressure on. Gold burst as an effective way to keep the pressure in, and manages to get the meteor off of the super. That closes out the round. Plus up a ton. Try to hunt people back.
Okay. There's a scalpel. Nice. Ooh.
Oh, good mix actually on that.
Very good mix.
Couldn't burst in that situation either.
Sleepy seems to just be getting hit by a lot of those scarecrows. Does not know what to do there. Ooh. Gets the perfect from Q9, taking out the round. Round 1 against Sleepy DM. Or not round 1, the first game. My apologies.
No, you were completely fine. I had mentioned it before in the in the previous match about the adaptation of Q9, and then you had even elaborated a bit on that. That's the adaptation it was that I was seeing. Stayed a lot more aggressive, a lot more in their face. That 6H is a wonderful and great button on Testament's side, but it is so unbelievably hard to find like good mileage out of it, I personally believe. Or like use it in a way that's going to, like, if that's the button you have to rely on, that's going to be hard for you to find it used all the time because of how big of a hurt box it leaves Testament. It leaves Testament pretty open.
Ooh, burst, but did not get it. Tried to burst out of it. Sadly, did not get out of it. I don't know why I repeated that. Oh well, we take those.
Nice, okay. About the back throw into the corner. There's a hammer. The Acme products coming through for sure. Oh, nice. Tries to get it, but instead bursts back. Nice. I like it. I like it.
Ooh. Sleepy seems to be checking a lot of those. I don't know what the button is for fouls, but he seems to be checking the needle a lot.
That is his JD. That's his that is his jumping dust. When he uses it for his aerial, toss out the trumpet. School's out for summer this time. They're on Testament side.
Ooh,
nice, good sweep.
Out of the armor side.
Yeah. Just getting out the armor. Instead goes for the nice. Ooh. That's exactly why that Afro can be so powerful. You find that it's so
air grab.
Air throw, the purple RC. That was so good because it covered his ground in case he tried to stay on the ground, he would get command grab, but instead it gave him the time to react and jump.
Ooh, tries to go with the Galpo, trying to get him to hit with the Afro. Definitely making it in his favor more for this. Can't find the word.
Nice. Yeah, this is pretty bad for Fast. No balls.
Oh, most definitely.
Nice. Little RC, get off me.
Ooh. Throwing out the succubus super.
Not yet.
Air grab.
Might
be it? No.
Super hard. No, not for now. He has the burst. It just came back up. Nice, good teleport.
Ooh, Pierce.
Is he gonna blow
throw? That is almost. Ooh.
He's not.
Ooh. That's the PRC Scarecrow throw is almost unreactable. That is absolutely a friggin' menace of a move.
It actually is. I'm so glad you mentioned that because it actually is like unreactable. If you're doing anything other than holding up for the most part, when he does that, you're getting command grab. Like like all the times it is that we've seen Testament avoid that, they've either been hitting the button already or they've already been jumping. Nice. This one's out for summer too.
Might be set up.
A little bit of extra damage. I went for the burst. Oh, not back in there. Exactly.
Q9 is a menace with those scarecrows.
Nice, yeah. Sets the Afro on fire too, so they still have to be careful. They got to block a little bit extra.
Oh yeah.
Nice. This is what I mean. The pressure. You got to keep it on. Oh wow.
Again, Q9 a menace.
That was crazy. That was really, really sick. I actually am so here for that. Like, using the teleport not to stay the same side, but instead going behind to avoid any adverse buttons they might try and go through. And I'm not too sure if that was going to be the plan anyway with the pressure, but seeing that little bit of space where Testament used 6H to sort of move out of the corner and, like, using the Scarecrow anyway, doing a bit preemptively to maintain that corner space so they can avoid the other normals that Testament might try and throw out was really good on the side of Q9.
Oh, we're running for another match here.
Try to keep the pressure on. Good burst. Wonderful job. Nice, set it up.
Set up for Stain. Hit him with overhead Grave Reaper? Or Arbor to sign. God.
I actually like that, but that's like that needs to be talked about. Good pressure for the most part. Good overhead as well. Just keeping this is what you would expect to see from Testament. Very hard for Frost to fly out of the situation. Won't burst instead. Nice. There's the burst. Just to win the round. You got to keep the advantage here. You can't really lose it. How ironic is that he makes it out anyway? Now he's outside the minimum distance of those summonings. Now all he has to do is really avoid the curls of the projectiles, but he still gets caught in midair. That's what happens being Linky.
Ooh.
Maintaining pressure, maintaining the proper spacing to make sure that he doesn't get punished immediately from that. But instead gets punished for the follow-up option. Great. Finds that sweet spot. Here comes the Acme products. Looney Tunes Incorporated.
Ooh, also gets hit by his own bomb. That was not what he wanted.
Oh, he still got it. Still got a chance.
YRC?
Good burst.
Ooh, it's neck and neck. Almost any kill can kill here. Or any hit can kill here.
The 2K clash, of course. The Frost hits 3 times.
You love
that's
2K.
Be a little harder. Sends it bouncing. Still has an opportunity. Nice purple to get the other overhead. And good block from Sleepy DM. Still bouncing.
Is just on his
the guard.
UI blocking. Oh my god. Gets hit. I think that's game, maybe?
No.
Ooh, last
One
hit.
more hit. Nice. That's good. That is genuinely good stuff. We're back neck and neck.
Ooh.
I could have had to have been a mistake. I don't know what Sleepy did up until that point to make sure that he started off, Q9 started off with JD, but like, hey, I'm here for it.
But he hit that. Man said, you know what? I guess you're gonna jump. Let me hit with the JD. Ooh, try to catch him with a button there.
Pressure on. Oh my gosh. Good hit. And bring 6P as well, just to keep the pressure. Q9 keeps trying to find his way out, but that's what I'm talking about with that 6H. Ooh. It's hard to find those opportunities because of how punishable it is, but manages to use the purple RC and got the trumpet, so it's going to be a little bit more safe on the side of Sleepy Dio.
Ooh. I wonder what Sleepy's going to try to do here to get out of this almost kind of situation. It's kind of not really in his favor.
Well, in this type of situation, I think they're actually the banana peel. Oh my goodness! Almost got the actual conversion. I had to burst off of that. No choice.
Oh, and he can kill.
Pressure on him. He gets it again.
Sleepy bring it to match point. Ooh.
Yeah, that was good. So Sleepy did a good job and not only like just blocking, but making sure they slowed down the pace of the match towards the tail end of that, because you saw as the distance increased, then we saw Sleepy throwing out, there's those 6Hs again. There's those big, wide 6Hs. What I'm surprised is that I'm not seeing, maybe it's a bit too much of like a risk-reward thing, but I'm surprised I'm not seeing as many 6Ps as I am to try and stop that 6H, because as soon as, like, Testament and Biken suffer from the same thing. Biken hits JS and their hurt box is already extended. Same thing for 6H on Testament. So I'm surprised they haven't been tossing out a lot more of those 6Ps more effectively. Maybe they feel more comfortable on Q9's side to just keep the pressure going instead.
I think that JD is a little bit of a disjoint, so maybe he's too afraid to hit it. I believe it is a disjoint. I could be wrong. Open to fact checking, but that might be the reason why he's too afraid to 6P it.
JD, the needle from the needle from Q9 on Foss side, you can still hit it with the 6P. Ooh. It is disjointed though, but you can still hit it with the 6P. The hurt box is extended to where you can anti-air it or treat it as one. The 3 hitting 2K, of course.
Ooh. We love the 3-piece products incorporated.
We do. We truly do. Cheap, effective, and, you know, fulfilling enough to make sure you can get the nice block. It was the IAD that helped him with that. School's out for summer again. Still trying to keep the pressure with the red RC as well.
Ooh. Jumps over the Grave Reaper. Ooh. Sleepy with the grab. Come on.
And
we love moves that back.
Now they think Sleepy. Yes, exactly. Sleepy's going to keep the pressure here. They're going to keep and maintain the position as they have now, but gets caught by the 236K. That's going to be death.
Woo! Sleepy with the Air Force One energy taking the round or game. Sorry.
It's true. It's true. Like it's Q9 did a wonderful job at like adapting their play style, and when they had those opportunities to sort of be aggressive, to put forth the pressure they needed to, they made sure they pulled out all the stops, because you saw that a lot of the times it was that Sleepy DM was pretty much stuck. Whenever they were stuck in the corner, it was hard for them to get out. But out of all those matches, we only saw them use their reversal super once.
Yeah,
which I was surprised, because it's like, well, no, I shouldn't really say I'm too surprised, because it's, you know, debatable if you want to use that reversal super instead of YRC, but I think, or like faultless defense, especially if it's like helping Sleepy DM space things, which is also how they were using it as well, which I loved how they were appropriately spacing that.
Very much so.
But I think after a certain amount of time, if you know the man's going to go buck wild, I think it's good enough to put the gorilla back in the cage, right? Zuki's it definitely is. Like it's zookeeping. So using like using the DP to sort of like force them away makes them think a little bit twice about how they're going to approach the pressure next time.
But also, to be fair, we'd only seen Sleepy only Gold YRC once. So I think honestly he was just a little bit too afraid to kind of use the reversal super to kind of force him to block. I think he was afraid of getting punished by it. That's one reason why we saw him use it once.
Yeah, but like I absolutely understand that perspective. I completely get that. In my personal opinion, I think that it's like important for you to to do it anyway. Because if we're in a situation where
Yeah,
we're already not looking too great, I think using DP or you're using meter, if you're not going to use the YRC, you can use the DP. Try and see if you can cash out or harder damage and see what's going on with that, right? Like it got used once, it worked once, and then we didn't see it again. So
very very unfortunate.
agreed, agreed, very much so.
You know, honestly, but that was a great match from both players. Unfortunately, Q9 ended up taking, also fortunately in his side, but unfortunately for Sleepy Jim, he ended up taking the round. It was a very, very close game.
And I think that it's like important to understand as well as like how effective that pressure is with like aerial 2K drill into aerial 2K drill into baghead, like the baghead explosion. I think that that like makes it like it is so hard to deal with that because like you think of a situation where like maybe I can 6P if you 6P and then it trades. You can't run under it because you're still dealing with the block stun from aerial drill. So it can be kind of hard to escape that. In that type of situation, I think Sleepy DM did the best they could, which was find their opening after all of that happened, right? Using the faultless defense, especially when they were in the corner, trying to see if they can gain some space, gain some distance, or find anything. If I remember correctly, I think if you try and like 6P like that drill in that scenario, I think it will either depending on how Q9 was using it, I believe it'll either trade or they'll find like it'll either trade or it'll just work in terms of like anti-airing it.
Yes, I believe it will. I believe. I don't actually know.
With how Q9 was using it, I think that it was like I believe it was like +2 if you use it low enough. If you jump out of it and then use it, I know it's like +2. It's like effective in the block stuff. So.
Also, so if anyone gets a chance, please type in !Matcherino. All the proceeds go to the players, and I'm pretty sure everyone would greatly appreciate that. So if you ever get a chance, type in !Matcherino. I'm pretty sure all the players, as I said before, would appreciate it. We definitely appreciate that because it helps us out. Not really helps us out, but it helps out the players and gets some money to the players a lot faster than anything else. Yeah.
As the sort of Incendium Digital Havoc goes on, I'm sure we'll see a lot more effective matches just like that one. But of course, like some of your thoughts, like it's. I feel like I've been talking a lot. Like I want to make sure that this is like a dialogue between the two of us. What was your opinions on that matchup? Was there anything it is that you saw like specifically that you feel like could have been avoided or?
Knowing how both players are, especially since I've kind of played against Sleepy and Q9, I think definitely Sleepy should. Well, knowing but knowing him, he definitely kind of seems to fumble when the opponent tends to get a lot more closer and is a lot more of a brawler type, such as like Soul or anything like that. His game plan seems to fall apart, and I personally believe that he should be working on that a lot more. Another thing I saw a lot is definitely he's not really checking a lot of those 60s, jumping Ds. So that's one thing I saw that should be kind of called out a lot more. For Q9, I don't really know much about Faust because honestly, I've only really played against a Faust maybe 3 times, and I don't really know nothing about it. I'm gonna be completely honest.
I think from my understanding of Faust, from what it was that like I was watching and also having like played against it before, a lot more of that pressure is very, very possible. But I'm more. We can hold that thought for the time being. Gold Lewis versus Nazaru Yuki. This is actually a terrible matchup for Gold Lewis, but I am so interested to see how Shaqdaddy plays this.
Oh yeah, Shaq is a Ontario player here, and he's a very good Nago, sorry, and he definitely tends to kind of get in there a lot. So I'm definitely seeing, or can't wait to see how he plays this matchup.
Yes. I was thinking, I'm so sorry, I heard you talking about that, but I was like, the best way, the number one option that you can do against Gold Lewis's Nago is DP Heavy Slash. You do that at round start, he has no option for that. That is not a meme. I'm serious. He has no way to get out of that. So it is best to just go ahead and go through with that. I'm so glad he used it that time, but once the pressure is on, it is so hard to stop Gold Lewis from continuing starting.
Especially knowing how Shaq plays. Ooh, DP reversal.
Should clash.
Clashes.
Yeah, I was right.
Woo!
Oh, it does clash. I was right. I was like, that should clash from that distance. Good spacing.
That's definitely DP motion for Nago's definitely Shaq's kind of go-to button a lot of the times. He tends to. That's just every time he just always hits that. It's consistent.
Good awareness from Shaq to do that, to throw him during that little bit longer of the on the longer behemoth typhoon set up.
Gold burst?
Ooh. Yeah, I figured the
yeah. Ooh, 2H? 2H? Does not get the what's the word? Does not get the conversion.
Oh, wow. DP again? Oh, I thought the same thing, Shaq. I don't blame you. He walked back because he thought it was about to come again. I don't blame you. Yeah.
Woo! The first guy hit. Ooh. I got hit there personally. Me personally, I would have got hit by that.
Me personally, I'm gonna say I didn't because I'm built different. There's a video of me blocking that exact same mix-up. So no, I'm built different. I didn't get hit by that.
You are just you're him. You're it. You're that guy.
But no, like seriously, I think that is such a that is such an interesting matchup. In general, I think that is really cool to watch. I know if my homie Backpack was watching this, I know he disagreed. That Gold Lewis Master, I don't think he'd agree that this is cool to watch. I think he'd be struggling. Oh, nice. That was good awareness to try and stuff the. That was good awareness to try and stuff the slower Behemoth Typhoon, but it was too late. It was as he was getting up, it wasn't enough time.
I definitely feel like Shaq's mental stack from when he started is definitely getting kind of caught upon now. Seems to not really be doing kind of a lot of checks that he usually does. Ooh. 6 from Gold Lewis does not do anything. Ooh.
Oh, JD is such a good button for Gold Lewis, bro. It is one of those rare buttons where you cannot react to it. You have to, right? Like you have to, you can't react to it. You have to preempt it. It's
that button's so good, it does your taxes and it does your laundry at the same time. That's how good it is.
One button plays freaking.
Ooh. Blocks the burst.
Yeah,
might be death here. Shoulder check. Ooh. Shaq. Shoutouts to Gold Lewis, because damn, that shoulder check really is just so good. That was.
So, Gold Lewis is one of those characters where it's like, it's very interesting because out of all the aggressive characters, Gold Lewis is one of those characters where it's like, you have to look, and it's like, it sucks because it's hard to like sort of like talk about certain things when it comes to that matchup, but you have to look for the few times they make the mistake.
Yes.
Man, that Thunderbird buff just carried the heck out of Shoko. That was crazy.
Nice. 2H counter hit. Nice.
Oh. It got so much damage off of that. Wouldn't have killed, but definitely would have been super close.
Spends the gold YRC, does not get anything off of it, sadly.
In that situation, it like does suck, but you have to look for the slower Behemoth Typhoon. You like have to. When he does the Behemoth Typhoon where he sweeps up with the coffin from the ground, he only gets that twice if you're FPing him. He would have to run up again to do it, or do like, what is it, like 6, 8, 4, I think is one of them. Like the one where he like does the, I don't know, I'm not about to describe it.
Neither do I. I don't know the exact name for Bo Lewis.
Nice. Yeah, just break that wall.
Nice wall break.
Just get the meter. Yep. Oh, you got DP again, bro. Like, I know the blood gauge was close, but you gotta do it. You gotta force that burn.
Dude, he has to, otherwise he's screwed. He has to. Ooh, I think that's that.
Waiting
Ooh,
there.
the
What
burst.
a freaky move. What a buff, bro.
Oh,
that was so
look
good.
the bite. That was clean.
Love it. Love the fast red
Shaqdaddy's always so clean with those bites. I'm gonna be honest.
The throw. Oh, meaty. Can't stop that. God button, for sure. One of Nago's mini God buttons. 2H is the button of the apocalypse, though. The four buttons of the apocalypse, for sure.
You do not want to be jumping against Nago, especially with that 2H, if he knows how to check those jumps with those 2H.
Nice.
RC?
He can't.
Just not get into the corner.
Forced him back. He couldn't Fukio because he probably would have popped.
Ooh, did he press the button? He pressed the button. Okay. Any point here? What is he gonna do?
Nice, good blocks.
Backs off. Ooh,
Oh, he's
pulls out the
blicked.
minigun.
Oh no.
Oh, he pulled out the blicky. He's like, nah. You know what? You wanna try to escape? Nah. Guess what? Brr. Shot him down. Sadly.
That's so
unfortunate.
Sad. He was doing. Shaqdaddy was doing like really well. Like I think that the biggest thing as well was that like a couple times like I saw. Well, not a couple times. Really, only once it is that comes to mind is that like I saw where he tried to go for the read where Go Lewis like jumped back and I think he tried to like either air throw or get like a different button. Just always DP. Go Lewis is a big boy.
It's always DP.
Round start
DP
hit every time because like you're either gonna hit him or he's gonna have to block something, and then you can choose to Fukio forward. You can choose to Fukio back. However it is that you want to do that game plan, you always heavy /DP against Go Lewis no matter what. Always, because there's definitely because like it's frustrating. They're going to get frustrated, and in situations where you're forced to block a lot of like their pressure and mix-ups, you have to look for the slower behemoth typhoon. You can't deal with the fast ones. You have to like see how they're going to do it because they always do. Like more than likely, like you'll see them do the round start one, which once again I believe is like 684 or like something like that, 684. Where you'll be able to
yes.
Oh, what's up?
No, I was counting up the thing in my mind. 684. I was doing notation in my mind. I was like, oh yeah, that's the back.
It's forward, up, and then back. It's like half circle up, and then like ends like with back. Like that's the one.
Oh yeah, I know the number notation. I was just doing the input in my head, like 6-8. I was like, that's the backwards one, right? Yeah. I was like, yeah, it was. No, is it? No.
It's
yeah.
For the most part, I believe that's correct. I was like thinking about like a couple of things during that matchup. I'm kind of interested to see how they'll like the matchup will sort of like evolve over time. I'm a big fan of like the Go Lewis versus like Nago matchup because of like it's interesting to see like not in the traditional sense like of being like I'm interested to watch this, but more so like I'm curious about how many like small minute changes the players make, or what do they know? Do they know the knowledge check? Are they going to DP off of the start? Are they going to right like how aware are they? And I think that is what's interesting to watch about that matchup. I think in general like trying to see Go Lewis versus Nago, it's like mid-tier matchup to watch, in my opinion.
Not a mid. It's mid. Let's be honest. It's mid.
Yeah. It's pretty mid. Well, no, I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna say it's mid tier. I think anything, and everyone in the chat can strike me down with this, but I don't think this is a hot take at all. Like I think any match with chaos is mid. I think any match where I have to watch a man get blicked from full screen is mid.
Okay, it's not that you're gonna get. It's not. That's not a hot take. That you're just spitting facts right there. All facts, no printer.
Thank you.
That's all you're doing. You're just spitting.
Glad we're in solidarity on this.
No one likes watching chaos matchups. I don't like watching some poor Potemkin guy slowly make their way in as you're just hitting him, and the poor man can't do anything because you're just hate it.
Yeah,
We hate
there's
chaos.
definitely been times where I've seen like Potemkin or like Gold Lewis versus like Happy Chaos, and I'm like, man, I'm like not playing, but like I'm getting mad for the player. Like I understand. Like I feel
You
you so
just
bad.
you feel it through the screen. You're just like, let him get in. Stop bullying this
Yeah,
poor potential player.
just take. But see, like that's the thing though, is that like it's so interesting seeing like Pot versus Chaos because you have like the two dichotomies of people that like hate certain archetypes of fighting games. You've got the
Yes,
people that hate the zoners, like are like, wow, I really want Potemkin to win. And then you have the people that hate like the grapplers that are like, oh, here we go, he
grapplers.
got
Ooh.
grabbed, he got gripped once, and then it's gonna start automatically.
I think this is Fantome. Oh, Fantome. We're getting Fantome versus Star Fox here for round 3 for quarterfinals. Off to an amazing start for Fantome, blocking the burst. Ooh.
Good pressure. It's going to be hard for Chip to find out of this one. It just is. That risk gauge is building. That is looking.
Oh, that
good.
wrist gauge is just cracked. Ooh.
Nice. Yeah,
Overhead.
Just keep the pressure.
Hits with the. I think he tried to
wonder-
6 the there.
Right. Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, I don't think he meant to do that. Yeah. Just Eddie gaming.
Yeah.
Sato gaming.
Zato gaming. Man's got on the whole headset on the arcade stick. He's gaming.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. Burst out of it. Nice.
Nice. No,
And I think
this is like best time for Chip to go in. This is like for anybody, but like Chip especially. Like when he does not have Eddie, you gotta find that pressure since he has no.
You just gotta maximize it.
Oh no, super,
should have super there.
What's
Probably
the
could have
plan?
killed. Oh, doesn't matter. Super's through the 6P. Ooh!
That
Sam
is the
said,
thing.
yo, you want to
Eddie
6P
said
me?
that.
God, dead.
That
And
is
with the
crazy.
perfect. Ooh.
I was like, dang, he didn't use the meter. I wonder how he's going to use it. Then it clashes, and then because it's a multi-hitting super, you still get clipped in the back. Unfortunately.
Ooh.
What's messed up is
got
that
clipped.
clashes, and it said second hit like a combo. Like, come on, the game's trying to gaslight us. Like, I know what happened. I saw the truth.
We know what's really about to happen. Ooh. Sets up with the sword super. Ooh. Tries to get out of it. Unfortunately, could not. Grab. Ooh. Okay. Start with the pressure.
Ooh.
Okay,
Nice.
okay. Star Fox definitely dropping some things, but I think it might not work out, unfortunate. Whew, that second round, ooh, that I feel that already. My chest is pumping. Whew. I feel
Yeah,
that.
that was definitely a Zato gaming sort of round. I think that what's like most important when it comes to that, like I think Chip having the low health it is, having to worry about getting clunts, like getting 1 pixel of their big toe clipped is like what's unfortunate about that matchup because you lose so much of your life after that. We saw how much damage 1 hit led to.
Can do.
You're right, yeah, like exactly, like how much 1 hit can lead to, how much damage it leads to.
But it's so sad for Chip, but you know I think Chip makes most of it up for his lack of health and speed, thankfully. But it's still absolutely terrible to see. The poor man's just trying to play the game and absolutely just lose everything.
At this point, I'm DPing. I'm surprised Falco has blocked as much as he has. I am
Ooh, blocks the meat grind.
like there's a lot of pressure in there that like you can't really fight out of, and I get that. Absolutely understand that. It's like it's a lockdown. You're in the gulag right now, right? Like I completely understand that. But
yeah, man's just locked up.
You have to DP at some point because they're not putting out wacky wavy inflatable 2-man all the time. Like Zato's not doing that every time. Fantome's not doing that every time. So
I think knowing how like Phantom plays, he only really seems to do 2-man when the opponent DP's a lot. So I think until he sees the DP, he's going to like kind of keep that as a kind of back pocket option in case he does it. You know? So. Ooh, Phantom taking another game.
yeah,
Whew.
that was
a round.
Quick.
Yeah,
It's quick. I do like.
Oof.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, whew, that is unfortunate.
Hmm. Yeah, it's I do like the adaptation. It was a very small, very minute adaptation. Um,
Hmm.
but being in a situation like how the rounds started off in the second game, you had the very first round, which was Eddie running up and actually like getting the sweep and finding the counter hit, and then Aiden responded in kind with just 2D off at the start, and then he immediately got clipped on that. Oh, he has
What
to
is
be
Star
messing with
Fox
him.
doing? Man, Alpha Blade twice in a row. What is this man on?
Shit. That's good fuck, dude. It's gonna break the
JoJo
wall.
pose? Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yo,
Right
it's
in the
Shark
water.
Week.
There's the
Let's
shark.
go.
Mm-hmm.
Smelt it. He's like, I think I know what week it is. It's Shark Week.
And chopped him right up.
Send them Bruce.
Goodness gracious. Yeah, you gotta get that pressure now. Good awareness from Fantome.
Very good.
Oh, good burst.
Ooh, grab
Yes.
taking the
Oh,
round.
man.
Ooh, that was. Ooh, that was definitely an unfortunate for Star Fox. Poor
It's
man just wanted to play the
difficult.
game.
That's a difficult matchup. Yeah, exactly. Like that is a difficult matchup for Chip, I think.
Very much so.
Um, because it's not in the traditional. Well, I will say it is in the traditional sense because I will say that like having to deal with Eddie is like a problem on anybody's behalf. But I think for Chip
Everyone hates
especially,
him.
you get in a situation where you get two tapped. There will be a situation in which you end up getting two tapped. Because Chip doesn't really have that much health to deal with, and that's kind of like the unfortunate part about that matchup and how that goes.
All right. That is very unfortunate for Chip. This is why I never play the characters with small health, because I personally like to play the game. I don't like playing Marvel, even though this isn't Marvel, but you know, it's just how it be.
I feel you.
All right.
Absolutely feel you on that.
Okay. So we are going to cut some ads here for a little bit. We will be right back. Don't touch that dial. Stay here, grab some popcorn, use the bathroom, do whatever you need to do, but please stay, watch the rest of these hype matches.
Welcome back in, guys. Once again, Fawn the Picture here with Sumi. We are giving you guys the 133rd Digital Havoc with Guilty Gear Strive, and of course, as you guys saw from the very brief ad break, Gommel that had me leaping out of my seat. More so because of the fact that I know the homies at Incendium are going to have a wonderful time there. If you guys want to sign up and play in the heart of Toronto from July 21st to the 23rd, please be sure to go ahead, hit start.gg/Gommel, and you guys will be able to make sure that you can sign up for some amazing, amazing things. And sign up, why not, as well, for the Matcherino. Make sure that you go there and hit the support. If you don't have an account, you do have to make sure that it is that you sign in, or you can even just hit the claim code button. You have to make sure that you get on a variety of different platforms. You can make it on Google, you can make it on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Discord, so many other things. I highly would suggest that you guys go and do that. Any proceeds made from the Matcherino would absolutely be straight towards the players, and I'm sure they would have plenty of nice things to say about you if you were able to support. If you can, I thank you guys so much for watching. We are back with some more Guilty Gear Strive.
Let's go! We're back! Oh, that was a very great ad break. You know, Can't wait for Gamo. Whew. Honestly, I already signed up for Gamo. Main thing I'm very excited for, as much as I'm a Strive player, I'm very excited for Street Fighter 6. What about yourself? What's your thoughts on that?
Oh yeah, Street Fighter 6 for sure. Guilty Gear Strive, and a bit of like a little bit of a guilty pleasure of mine is seeing that like Rivals is also going to be on that listing. I actually am a big fan of Rivals of Ether. I enjoy playing that game quite a bit. I think it's super sick that that game is actually going to be there with a very sizable entry cap for that game. I'm excited to see that as well.
I am very much. Unfortunately, I tried Rivals Ether when it came on. Got released. Unfortunately, not my kind of game. But honestly, I love watching the matches. They're just as hype as Smash matches, in my opinion. They're very, very good.
Yeah, Rivals is a lot faster, so you'll see a lot or at least of course, like not in the sense of maybe like melee speed, but I do think Rivals is pretty quick, so you can see a lot of crazy stuff happen in that game, and of course, the Titan Street Fighter 6 that everyone is waiting for to actually participate in was also something equally as amazing.
Oh, I can't wait for Gamo. Also, as you said before, just make sure you sign up. Now is the perfect time before kind of it gets closer and closer to the date. Have you registered fund for Gamo yet?
Oh no, not as much. Okay, so there's a very interesting thing there. I like it. I have a mix of enjoying entering into tournaments, and there's times where it is where I can play super well. I'm confident in my ability as a player to be able to place at least decently. But when it comes to signing up for Gamo, I haven't put in as hard of work as I could have with playing as I have been with studying and commentating and such. So I definitely have to get back into the swing of things. I would love to sign up for Gamo if it was if it was in the cards. I would absolutely love to. I love the spirit of competition, so I think that tournament's going to be super sick.
I very much agree. So I signed up, so I'm ready. So hopefully anyone else who signed up, can't wait to see you guys there. So kind of, do we know anything going on for our next matches? Do we possibly know who's fighting at all? Any information, Vaughn, you got?
Oh, those are actually two names it is that I recognize. Currently, Riot FGC and Sheepsy are going to be up for the next match it is that we will be watching. They've been in previous Digital Havocs, but they participated a lot in the Electric City Showdown. I know they were in Crossplay Cup. Riot was, and I've seen that name around. They're actually based in my state, which is Georgia, which is really cool. So they are a Georgia player, home and grown, and that's super sick. Actually, to be able to see that, that's I think I've ran into him in a couple of brackets around 404 Esports, I believe, but for the most part, mostly been chilling. I'm glad to see him here in this tournament as well. He's putting in that work for sure.
We love seeing representation from other states and other countries. We love to see that.
Then of course we have Sheepsy as well. Sheepsy is a name it is that I recognize. Not any crazy placements that I remember, but I do know that they have been around the block. I have seen them play in quite a few different matches before when it came to previous Strive tournaments. This isn't their first rodeo, and so with that being the case, I expect to see a good match between the two of them.
Ooh, hopefully this is definitely going to be a very hype match. Oh, we got a Jacko. Ooh. I think it's... Oh, we're getting a Jacko versus Axel. Ooh. This is going to be a hype match. Can't wait to see how the Jacko's going to deal with the Axel's kind of long-range moveset.
Let's see how it goes. This is a matchup I also like. This isn't as frequent. I don't see this matchup as often, but it will be a little bit harder for Axel to get started because of the mini-me's.
Oh, yeah.
Nice tossing it out. Pretty much using those minions to do majority of what you would expect them to do. I imagine the next time they throw out another minion, they might turn on the defensive buff. and just be a little bit more like aggressive with that. So they use the purple RC to leap forward. They use the defense to try and stop Axel's sickle, but don't quite find it there. Instead, they're just going to use the purple RC to try and keep the pressure and then play back with the minions.
Ooh, this might be Axel's time to finally get in. Ooh.
Nice. Tick throw.
Unfortunate. Nice throw.
Well done. Keeping the pressure 2D as well. Throwing out the minion, just keeping the pressure. This is what you would expect to see from Jacko. This character I actually played for quite some time. She was my main for quite a while. There's a lot of pressure that goes on here, and I think that what's the most interesting about this is that Axel doesn't have his stereotypical zoning presence, as you see with the minions being tossed out constantly.
Jacko's definitely one of the characters I barely see any representation in tournaments, so this is quite nice. And I'm not gonna lie, those minion pressures, that's deadly. Ooh, not as deadly as that combo.
Nice.
Ooh,
well done from Riot. Well done from Riot. Starting off the round strong, but ironically enough, finishing the combo like that, it may not be what they're looking for. It's creating the distance it is that Jacko needs, but instead Sheepsy turning things up a little bit, going in instead of running away as often. Good challenge. You got good.
Ooh.
That should be talked about. That was amazing awareness for him to know to stop that 2K from happening.
I didn't even, honestly, it happened so fast, I didn't even know what happened.
Yeah, that's completely understandable. It was that fast of a reaction. That was really well done by him. And good bait, but doesn't find the hit.
Ooh, cross up.
Good mix. Yeah. What sucks about that is that is actually like, that is a four-way mix-up when she's holding that. She can do one of two things. She can jump over and fake you out with the mix-up and instead just hit the cross-up. She can jump over and then dash back and then hit you with like jumping heavy slash as long as she drops the minion. She can jump over. She can jump over you and land behind you and instead go for like jump low. Yeah, and then she could jump over you and then dash back again and then hit you same side but low instead. It's very, very interesting. That and that's like including if like you drop the minion, because that's normally what you do with that mix. You normally do that and then drop the minion and then clap, and it keeps you plus enough to continue pressure. Like it's really it's crazy. Like she has a lot of good pressure like that.
I'm so glad I have never faced a Jacko in bracket, because if I'm facing top tier Jacko like that, oh, I would fumble so quick. Oh lord.
Well, you haven't even seen like the crazy. We could see it, but. I don't know if Sheepsy will do that. They've been using their meter kind of conservatively, mostly for purple RCs, mostly for finding ways out of scenarios instead of using it more aggressively for their own benefit. Because it's still Axel. You still gotta respect it. You have a game plan that's working for you, but Axel's still gonna reach it from full screen. Nice. Good conversion for out of the minion. There's the pressure. Is she gonna do it? Yes, there it is. Now get ready to watch. We're watching a movie.
Oh my god, the wrist is cranked. Holy Jesus.
Oh, yep. At the perfect time, too. Good awareness from Riot. Most people crumble under that. Reacting to the 5D from Jacko from Sheepsy, well done. Riot's reactions are absolutely on point.
Honestly, Ooh. Woo. What
a combo to not only optimize the damage, but make sure you got the wall break for the kill. I haven't seen that Axel combo. That was fire. I'm here for it.
I think he also put it in a way to where he possibly could have made a break save. I think so. Charge dust. We love charge dust.
5H. 2P. Danger of the situation isn't as isn't as important. They're just trying to find their way in, and they did in fact find it. Can't hold it back, and this time has to either blue RC go for the air throw, purple RC just to offset the timing a little bit. But
nice, flat. Okay. Let's not do anything with it.
Nice.
quite surprised Ryan isn't throwing a lot of the command grabs for Axel.
Most of the time, Jacko's in the air, so he doesn't really like. He did throw the command grab. He did catch her like one time. She should be. Oh, he's not dead. He's on a pixel.
Ooh, one pixel hero might see something from it. Ooh.
Well, yep.
Ooh, unfortunate. The fireball.
Yep.
Whew.
Jacko's one of the few characters that doesn't have long-reaching normals, but is almost as good, if not on the same level as controlling space, as Axel is. She's really, really good with her minions setting up traps, making sure that she has that defensive buff as well to stop any normals. And if they do block it, if you didn't notice, there was a little bit of pixel life it is that he had left when he hit the minion. When it got blocked, when it got parried, and it looked like he got guard. He did the same guard broken animation. He took a little bit of damage, like a tiny bit of damage. If you actually manage to parry that successfully, yes, it does. Wow. A small amount, but it does damage. Yeah, it's really, it's really cool. If you can time that properly, fire. Great play.
Tech grab. Okay. It's very interesting to see how. Ooh, first hit combo.
Yeah, that's what's so messed up about this character is that like you can't burst her as effectively because you're not bursting her, you're bursting the minions, and that's like what's messed up about it. That's what's doing most of the damage.
Why we love when Jacko gets too close. That way, if you're about to die, you can burst out of it.
So you actually mentioned it earlier, and I think it's a great thing to sort of mention. Is you have mentioned about Riot's usage of command grab. So far, this entire set, he has only used it twice. The reason why he can't really use it as much is Jacko is one of those characters that actually loves to stay in the air. She'll toss things at you from every angle possible. So trying to find a time in which she is grounded is more than likely going to be when you're blocking. And so that's why Riot can't really depend on that like that.
Okay.
See, there it is. Do you see the damage?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Never knew that. Oh my lord.
Yeah, it does. It's really good. It should be used more than it is. Actually, it's great at doing that. It's stopping pressure. Actually, it's so good at doing that.
Well, I guess the only problem is actually Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
That's a standard. That is a standard Jacko combo. That is pretty. It's cool every time.
Oh my god. Man really pulled the tear me combo
every time. Right? Yeah. It's cool every single time. I love seeing it every time it happens. So
I wish I could clip that, but damn, that was. Whoo!
Yeah, that is like that off the wall. It's so funny because people see like a variety of different games. You see all like these crazy combos, and then you see like Hokuto no Ken, which is like has like dribbling combos, right? And then they don't know that dribbling also exists with Jacko and Guilty Gear Strive. You know, crazy crossover. How like things like that work out. It's insane.
That was some. Woo! I felt that. Poor. Ooh. Honestly, if that happened to me personally, I would have. I don't know what I would have done if that would have happened mid game and I still had one life left. I would have just dropped my controller. I would have left. Honestly, that was such a
that's
saucy.
That is very, very saucy. It's funny because like it's saucy, but like it is a combo that you would see more often than you think, based off of like the. It's so interesting, and that's like what makes Jacko that's what makes Jacko such an interesting character is the presence of being able to keep pressure on someone and you having to find out when you can burst. Because we saw that Axel tried to burst previously and then still ended up getting hit. That has everything to do with the fact that, like I said before, it's the minions. The minions are the one popping you up and getting the combo. She's fitting it in between. Her strength and her hits are fit in between. Or she can just clap twice, make it a situation where in some situations she can get like two hits off of the minions and it still pops you up high enough and like you still have to be worried about it. There's like things where like get crazier combos off of height. It's a whole slew of different information. This is a Zato mirror.
Oh my lord! Oh, this is gonna be a very. I don't know how to say that, but this is definitely gonna be a match.
this is an episode of who gets hit first, more so. Like this is like because whoever gets hit first, exactly. Like see, it's you gotta understand. You get hit immediately, you gotta go for the burst. No, you know what that character does. You know you're in. Look at it.
Yeah,
you get hit again, you gotta go with the burst ASAP.
They're just throwing out. I didn't know watching Gurren Lagann. They're throwing out so many drills. Jesus Christ.
Right.
Ooh, sword. Nice.
Knockdown. Eddie's back in the pocket. What's the mix here? Not even mix. Really just pressure. You don't even really have to go. Best combo I've ever seen. Most optimal combo I've ever seen. Getting hit by 5P 5 times, like 3-4 times. Fire. Did 5P enough to build the meter so he could red RC. Really good.
Ooh, Phantom drops the combo. Still gets the wall break though. Okay. What is... Nice. Okay, we love those. Great.
Oh my gosh! Woo. What kind of mix was that? That was truly a mix from only someone truly undead and cold in the heart would ever do this.
Doesn't matter. Cold or not, man's trying to win. Ooh,
good burst,
first hit combo.
This is death. Oh, that's so unfortunate.
Return. Ooh, okay. Game here. What can you do? Ooh. Nice job, Fantome, taking game 1.
Crazy pressure as normal. Exactly the type of stuff it is that you'll see. So many different times where like it's a back and forth. But more than anything, you see an immediate hit, you see that hit land, it's going to be a situation of like you gotta burst immediately. Both of them burst immediately.
Or else you're because the Zato matchup. Zato matchup? It absolutely is terrible for one. Either one Zato. Oh my god. So sorry. I'm congested. It's kind of like a bad situation for each Zato, especially because they don't really have the tools necessary to. No, they do have the tools to do with each other. Sorry, it's just that kind of just a bad matchup since they kind of. I don't know how to say it. I believe Leffen said something about it, but a lot of people do agree that Zato matchup Mirror is very, very not good for each other.
Yeah, because it's all about who gets knocked down first. It's literally all about who gets knocked down first. Whoever gets the hit, gets knocked down on their back first, is going to be the one that's going to be able to receive that pressure. And that's never good for anyone. I mentioned it earlier, we're talking about a scenario where good burst bait. And Eddie's back up too, that was enough time. Stayed in the air. Oh, good interrupt. There's one person that can make this comeback, it would definitely be Eddie.
Ooh, out of the combo, any hit could kill from another player. Ooh, nice backdash.
The backdash. Oh,
command grab is what man ran up and said, "What are you gonna do? You ain't gonna do nothing." Woo.
So unfortunate. It was close. It was close on the side of the start.
It was very close. We'll hit him with the JoJo close.
Good hits. Oh, this is gonna hurt really bad. Not gonna find the wall break or like really stick them to the wall, but it was really close.
Very close.
The pressure goes for the mix again. Oh, good block! Oh, you can't block forever though. You can't block forever though.
Dark weak.
So understandable. Oh, that's so. Goodness gracious, this character's crazy.
There's been a couple times where I thought
I wanted to. There's been a couple times where I thought I wanted to play this character actually, because I was like, oh, this is sick.
I thought the exact same thing. I was like, you know, I want to play this guy, but I realized, I don't really want to play a fucking character.
Nice. I can really be applicable too, man.
Ooh, first block. Ooh, checked Eddie. That was a nice check. Nice to beaten. Frog. Ooh. Whew. Stun start. Immediately responding back with, if you're going to take a game, I'm going to take a game back. Ooh, incredible.
Great plays, honestly. It's kind of hard to tell which way this can go definitively because of how consistent things have been, really. It's been kind of a crazy scenario to see this sort of like back and forth. Well, I can't really say it's been too crazy to see it back and forth. I mean, it's Zato. I mean, it's Zato. Zato. It's Zato mirror.
Exactly.
Someone's going to get hit. That's a guarantee. If that's the
it's either you're going to get hit, or it's either you're going to get hit, or the opponent's going to get hit. Exactly. Nice grab. Ooh, nice PRC on Phantom side.
No pressure. There's the drill. Super jumps his way out. That's fair. Fair and understandable. Oh, yeah, I can't wire see that at all. Nope. Definitely was a mistake. Definitely was a mistake to wire see that.
Probably fat fingered it. I hope we're gonna say he fat fingered it.
Yep. It's gonna. I mean, like it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. I definitely fat finger a lot of the times. Ooh, blocks the YRC.
The burst. Having to wait in terms of when you can burst, when you can. Good 6P.
Backdash, dude. 6H.
Keep the drill on.
Ooh, responds with the command grab. But Sunstar does have the burst, so he could possibly get out of the situation. He gets hit.
Just gonna block. I don't think he should burst in the scenario. Ooh. I think if he's gonna lose, yeah. If he's gonna lose, he's gonna lose. You need to carry burst in the next round, especially considering your opponent doesn't have burst still.
That is true. But sometimes it might work out. You never know.
True.
You are spinning though.
I feel you. Get out of the sky. Didn't break the wall. That actually might have been best case scenario for him, actually. It's not even a joke. Like, the fact it didn't break the wall gave him more pressure in the corner. It didn't reset him back to neutral. Good air grab. Stun start. Going crazy, man. That was... No, I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen... I think it just genuinely dropped and it worked out for him. But I've never seen a situation where, like where they use some of their moves in order to, like, well, actually, that's not, I wouldn't necessarily say that that's true. I think that it's very, very much so possible that you'd see a situation where someone would instead get, like, the wall slump, but for the combo to just drop like that and they're back in the corner, I've never seen that.
Yeah, I have never seen that something happen myself, especially, you know, watching how, or not watching, seeing how players have played. I've never ever seen that, especially the Zato mirror.
Really? Oh, the purple RC was definitely for the burst, just in case. I'm not assuming. Ooh. Nice. Good damage. Invite totem. Look at the wall. Ooh. Oh, Eddie almost took a bite out of crime right there. Almost chomped him.
Okay. I wonder.
Stop. There's Nix.
Surprised I haven't seen any of the players run up through the puppet. I don't even know what you call it. You can call it puppet. And trying to go through the grab, especially since most of them don't do anything when they throw a puppet.
Nice. And he lands the hit. More of the pressure. Good stagger on the close buttons there. The hit. I love it. Put Eddie back in when they're in the corner just to make sure you gain some of that resource back. Still keeping more of the pressure. The 5P. More pressure. Tried it, but used the burst. I don't agree with that burst,
those
actually.
are the shark
From Fantome. I don't agree with that burst. I think that burst actually wasn't great.
Detrimental.
Good burst on the side of Stun Star.
Ooh. Any person's game here. Ooh. Fantome responding back. It's gonna bring it to match point. Ooh.
We're going to set point here in the semifinals. Super back and forth as per normal. Pretty much going as expected in terms of how we see in terms of match flow and neutral. But there's been a lot of minor, like a lot of small and minor adaptations. Like instead of keeping Eddie out the whole time, you call him back to make sure that you have more of your resources. Then you have a situation where you're like, hey, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to make sure that I get more command grab on the side of Fantome for a lot more command grabs, instead of just sticking with like the normal pressure you would expect.
Fantome's definitely like very dangerous with command grabs. Ooh, PRC?
In Boto.
Ooh, nice check on the Eddie. Fantome's really good at checking those Eddies, I'm gonna be honest.
Wonderful.
Wall break? Kill? Nice. Ooh.
He just first hit this time. Check your bets. Oh, there it is. Stun start. Already finding their way to the corner. Eddie's gone, though. This could be a little bit negative.
What can you do? Got a block now?
The onslaught.
Ooh, command grab. Really hit him with the World right there. Ooh, Shark Week?
Breaks the wall, finds the knockdown. What more pressure is there? Let me see. What are you cooking with today?
Man's cooking a whole pasta.
Oh, good weight on that.
Command grab.
Ooh. More pressure, no burst.
Nice
Oh, I think he jumped because he tried to. I think he was looking for a block. But burst is about to be up for Fantome. He's probably not going to use it. Yeah, not going to. Nice.
Nice smart decision.
All right, here we go. Oh, both with the 2B, both going for the sweep.
Ooh,
good
nice
air
grab from Sunstark. Okay.
Finding more and more. It's a drill.
Optimal combos, we love them. Okay. Ooh, gold burst.
Gold burst. That's the sword. Oh, caught him out the sky.
Ooh. Okay. Brings him in the corner. Sunstark in a very terrible position right here. The wall break. Nice. Might live with a little bit of health. Yep. Ooh, 1 pixel hero. Okay.
Has to FD every time. Oh, wasn't ready for the run up 5D. Well done by Fantome. He's going to win and proceed onward in the bracket.
Taking
2 winners and finals.
That was definitely a match. I will say that. Whew, that was love watching Zotomir. So fun.
It was pretty insane seeing that. I think that think that it is so interesting to see how things have to see more and more of like the Zato mirror match, because of course it's going to come down to who knocks down who first, right? But at the same time, still seeing how players like try their best to adapt. Really, what I saw was like it was interesting. It was a more high octane match, a more pressure filled match, because we saw a situation where we would jump and then try to avoid things or try to move out of the way or try to do certain things. A lot of them, both of them, were using their flight pretty effectively, or setting up the wacky wavy inflatable tube man on the side of Eddie to make sure they blocked wherever normals were coming in as well. And just seeing what happened from there, a lot of it was more evasive than it looked. Like in the moments that we did have the neutral in situations where they weren't stuck blocking, there was more evasive there was more evasive pressure and more, sorry, not pressure, but movement. There was a lot more evasive
movement.
movement. There was a lot more evasive neutral, trying to see if they could fish out hits or fish out grabs or command grabs. And I think that was really, really well done on both players' behalf.
Hmm. They definitely both played the mirror very, very well on their end. All right. I wonder who is going to be our next matchup, or next kind of list of players here for the next one. Also, shout out to everyone using the Metro. Shout out to
Shibzi and
everyone using the
Fantome.
Metro Arena.
That is going to be an interesting matchup. All right, Fantome versus
Mhm.
Sheepsy.
I wonder
Wait,
how Phantom's going to
no.
play against the kind of. I think Sheepsy was the Jacko, I believe.
Sheepsy was, in fact, the Jacko. Yes,
I wonder how he's going to play
Sheepsy
against those kind of.
was the
Yes.
Jacko.
Yes.
It's a little bit harder for Jacko to do what normally, like, it's a little harder for Jacko to really, like, in my opinion, from how I'm imagining this matchup. Haven't seen this matchup much either, because these are like some sort of interesting. I'm glad that we have like the liberty and like the honor of looking at some of these like weirder, more like obscure
Oh
matchups,
yeah.
because we don't really see these as often. Like, you can put me like with a Chip versus Eddie matchup every day, and I'll see that, right? You can see me
Yeah.
like like uh, like you could see a Happy Chaos matchup, you could see a Nago matchup, things like this happen. But Jacko versus
Yes.
Eddie, how I'm imagining this is that
Never.
Eddie might have more of a chance to
Hmm.
keep pressure going, I would say. Um Eddie definitely has more ways of like sort of counteracting those minions because he's going to be taking the brunt of the hits. Now, how I imagine this is I imagine Zato, maybe at round start, this probably wouldn't happen, but they might actually both just back up and try and gain their space because I think what will
Hey.
happen is Zato probably puts up the wall and then fights from there, is what I would imagine.
That's what I'm mostly imagining. But
Hmm.
what I'm more imagining is how would the Jackal player play around that wall and see what would they do against kind of Zato having that. I think it's free invincible hit against the wacky inflatable arm, whatever the word is. I can't English today. Kind of how she
It's
play
all
around
right. It's
that.
all right. I think the best way in which she would play around that is she just has to wait it out. Jacko has like her minions are like really annoying.
Hmm.
So what you have to do more than anything is sort of just like wait this stuff out. Look for opportunities to sort of sneak some buttons in, sneak some options through. Like
Hmm.
that's sort of how you have to like look at it, right? I think from that perspective, since Zato has a lot of ways to catch you, you
Hmm.
have to really play around your minions very effectively and very, very
Hmm.
carefully. Because if you don't, you absolutely will be in a scenario where
Oh.
you'll get messed up. You'll get messed up pretty bad.
Hmm.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Hold them back up. Oh, she actually tried to go for
Ooh.
2D. See now
Okay. Start
I
off the
figured
match strong.
Phantom would back up.
Shifty just said, "Nah, I'm here to fight. I want to win."
Best way to counter aggression is with more aggression, really.
Mm-hmm. Man's bringing out the ape today.
Good
Super.
5P.
Woo!
5P off of the anti-air, that's going to
Mm.
be perfect to start things off here. 5P off of the anti-air into the dash cancel to
Woo.
finish off the
7 golden
combo
letters.
leads to a person. Leads to a perfect.
Mm-hmm. Phantom does not know what to do in this situation. He is just absolutely getting just mauled. Hmm.
Let's get that.
What are you doing,
The wall
Phantom?
is like
Woo!
genuinely, I believe, like Phantom's best bet, but the thing is that Sheepsy knows that, so she's being like a little bit
He's
more
gonna play
aggressive.
around that. Ooh,
Hmm.
double
I was
perfect.
think
Ooh.
I was thinking like just seeing how like Sheepsy had played last time, he had played a little bit more passively, but now I know that there's like this adaptation there. There's like this switch it is that they're able to turn on and off. That means that they're able to go from this sort of back away, keep away play style, because you have to play
Mhm.
that against Axel. You have to like sort
Yes.
of control more of the aerial space that he's able to control and try and avoid a lot of his sickles, as opposed to with Zato, where like you managed to catch him with like the 2D.
Yeah,
and
and
I don't think this time
made that
Fantome's
full
going to try back up.
But we
There's the
see what
wall.
he does. Okay, burst.
Good
Ooh,
block.
nice.
Yeah.
Burst block. Okay, okay. Command grab. What will he do here?
Not really much you can do in that
He's
situation.
responding.
That is how you have to weather the storm.
Oh yeah.
Wall break, reset back to neutral. There's no hard knockdown, so how does the approach? There's the wall. Like I was saying, they're gonna have to rely on that wall like a lot more, but that is so easier said than done.
And then done.
Because of how aggressive you can play Jacko.
I think honestly, in my personal opinion, is this thing. Jacko's very aggressive for what she was compared to in Exert, in my opinion.
Jacko, that's because in Exert, Jacko was spawning like a billion minions. Like she didn't really need to be aggressive. The minions like turned up for her.
Ooh, Fantome spawning back by taking a game back. Ooh.
I will say that like Jacko was way more like of a puppet character in XR than she was in this game though. Yeah.
It's crazy how they kind of did a lot of things with the characters in this game in terms of like, oh, Jacko was was more popular in that game, and Zato is whatever he's in this game. They did a lot of things. I'm surprised they did it. Okay, okay. Gold burst.
Nice. Catching out the scar. Gold burst, yeah. Finding pressure. And here's Zato's way of sort of maintaining his lead. Good interruption. Blue RC, not only to give himself a little bit more time for Eddie, but also make sure that they find some good damage. But Sheepsy's right back in there. Oh, that button's so good. Tried to 5P as an anti-air, but instead got counter hit, and then Sheepsy is the one that takes this match. Super, super unfortunate on the side of Fantome.
Fantome is just... Oh, man. Gold burst.
Oh, there goes Eddie. Up in the sky. It's coming back down, though. Nice.
Ooh, throws out super. I don't know if that was a good idea.
Just to try and keep the pressure away for the time being. It's hard to try and find your like way in. I had assumed that the super had been used to buy him some time just to get Eddie back just for like a second and to maintain spacing between Fantome and Sheepsy. But Sheepsy with their minion place, like with their just overall aggression, is super hard to like answer with that. It's like the same. Now the thing is, what's interesting is that they have the same sort of like they have the same sort of Jacko has the same sort of premise as Chip, where if she's in a situation where she's in the corner because of both of their low health pools, like that ends up being way worse than you would expect it to be. It can be really bad. So that's why you have to like you have to put the burners on when you're playing as Jacko.
Just full send it. Okay. I get it. Ooh, throws up. Ooh, okay. Ooh, that's very hard prepping getting right now. Oh my. Let's see, make it safe. Very nice Fantome kind of switch up his game style a little bit.
Nice
It's
5D.
by the meat.
Opens him up.
Duel 2. Let's rock.
Pressure going. Good 5P once again. I like that. Backs up to set up the minion and just to try and find more like additional pressure on their way in. Wants to limit as much space as Fantome has to try and set up the wall or find any sort of way out of the pressure in question, despite the fact that Fantome finds their way out anyway and opens and deals damage with a very sustainable and big damage combo.
Ooh. What is he gonna do here? Ooh. Fantome taking another game. Fantome immediately responding with another game after Shaqdaddy took another one. It's very nice seeing Fantome kind of switch up his game style from kind of playing the way he did before, and now he's playing a lot more. I've noticed he's playing a lot more aggressive than what he did from the first match.
I think he's finding more of his openings, is what I believe is happening. He's finding more of his openings, more of like his opportunities to sort of go in and be aggressive. He's finding more of those types of situations, and that's what's like interesting about that.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Okay. Ooh.
Okay, nice. Good damage. Nice pressure in the corner. Man grab.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. Fantome's definitely found their openings now.
Oh yeah. Once Fantome finds his openings, he tends to just kind of be in that zone. Very unstoppable in the sense like he just knows. Okay. That's death. Nice.
Duel 2.
Great hits.
Let's rock.
Great hits. Good damage. Great block on the burst.
Ooh. Okay. Walls reset. Man grab. What is he gonna do here? Phantom spotting with the charge 5D, or not charge 5D, with the 5D. Taking the game and the match.
Yeah, definitely found their opening. Absolutely found their opening. Found what they were looking for sure. They ended up finding out ways to sort of like keep pressure on them as well, and like find where they can insert themselves in terms of the pressure. Where were the holes in the gap? How were they playing? Could they adjust to certain things? And they took advantage of that. They did extremely well.
They most definitely did. Phantome's definitely one of those players who's kind of like very good at adapting from what they are presented with and adapting to it kind of in that way. And that's kind of what I like seeing from Fantome in that way whenever he plays, is that he could be losing, but then he quickly finds a way to adapt to that, and most definitely tends to take the match after that.
Absolutely agree. Just a wonderful match in general. I loved seeing the adaptation from both players. That led us to the game 5, and then of course the conclusion with Fantome moving onwards in the bracket and allowing themselves to sort of set themselves up for like the grand finals here.
Oh yeah.
Of course, we have to go down into the losers bracket and watch those matches, but like Fantome's moving forward, doing super well.
Phantome's just chugging along. Man's just like, you know what? I want the win today. I want to take the W. It's just like, you know what? I don't care. I'm gonna be unstoppable. And hopefully, we might see him take that.
Maybe so. Right now, Shaqdaddy, in the losers finals, we've got a couple of other matches as well. It is that we'll be seeing. We'll probably be moving on to the losers semifinals, is how I would imagine things after one of the matches finishes up. But I'll be super interested to see like the final parts of the tournament, which is the semifinals, loser semifinals, the finals, and then we move on to grand finals.
So I'm most excited to see who we're gonna get there in the end. Who's gonna face against each other? From what I've
Could
seen,
be possible in a situation where Shaqdaddy's. Oh, go ahead, by all means.
No, you finish. No.
Oh no! The only thing it was I was going to say was that like it would be interesting to see like a rematch between Shaqdaddy and like Fantome and see
Hmm.
how that sort of goes, how that evolves.
Oh yeah. Um, I wonder what Sheepsy might do in that situation of seeing how Phantom kind of adjusted to what they were doing originally. I want to see if Sheepsy can kind of form a new game plan, sort of in a way to kind of take down Phantom a couple pegs and see if they can kind of get in their mental stack and just take them in that sense. And what I originally was going
Hmm.
to say is I've definitely seen a lot of players who was on a player on stream who was on here earlier. Shaq definitely making his climb up the bracket right now. He is
Oh
definitely
yeah,
wanting
for
to get that
sure,
right.
for sure,
Uh,
absolutely.
I wonder. Okay, so I think we're gonna take a short break here. We'll be right back while we're waiting for the next set. So sit back and kind of relax, everyone.
Quoted Tech, the official production partner for Incendium Gaming. Visit quoted.tech for your custom PC build today. Use referral code Incendium for a $100 discount.
Hey guys, what is up? It is Fawn, the picture here once again, and I'm currently here by myself, but that's okay. I'll be sure to take you guys through some of the things it is that we had just saw. Once again, Gamo, big tournament. If you are in the Toronto area, please be sure to sign up for Gamo and participate in one of the biggest, if not the best, tournaments out there. It will be an absolutely wonderful slew of different games. You guys can experience Street Fighter 5 or Street Fighter 6 in this situation. Street Fighter 6, Guilty Gear Strive, Rivals of Aether, and a lot more if you guys go to start.gg/Gamo. And one more thing, guys, of course, I have to bring it up. I know, you probably are already aware of it, but the Matcherino, if you do exclamation point Matcherino in the chat down below, you will see that you can go there and contribute to a prize pool by just clicking claim code, and sending some of that extra money towards the way of our players means the absolute world to us. Thank you guys so much for being here, watching the 133rd Digital Havoc for Guilty Gear Strive. While things are sort of getting set up and sort of these matches are still going, please be sure to grab your snacks, go to the restroom, take a break, do as you wish, and you guys will be absolutely in a wonderful predicament to watch this match once it comes back up for sure.
Very much so. I return. Thank you so much for being patient with us, guys, and thank you so much for taking over for that bit of part, Fawn. I very much appreciate it. All right. I believe our next match is, don't know if you said, is Busta Rhymes versus.
Has not quite finished yet. Hasn't quite finished yet. There's still going on in the match.
They are
still going on in the match, so we're still seeing who the winner of that is. The loser semifinals.
Okay. Anyways, so I don't believe I ever asked you. So, kind of, who did you play when you played Strive? I don't know if you still play Strive. Do you?
Oh, of course I do. Yes. I have played Biken for an obscene amount of time, but it seems like the match is just now loaded in. It will be Busta Rhymes versus what I believe is that Shaq?
Cement
No,
Eater.
it's not Shaqdaddy. It's Cement Eater.
That
yes.
is Wonton. He goes by Cement Eater, but currently that is the player from Canada. I believe that is Wonton is his name, but he goes by Cement Eater.
Strong start from Nago so far. Yeah, once Nago gets 2 of those little blood bars filled up, you have to remember that his heavy slash changes properties. His 5H and his 2H get faster and have an extended range on them. That is extremely hard for Nago. Sorry, not extremely hard for Temp, excuse me, to deal with.
Yep. I definitely. I think it's only his H moves, right? Or is it all of his moves get a little bit of a buff with the higher blood, right?
Just the heavy slash variants of them. The heavy slash variants of them are the ones that receive the buffs for that. So like 5H, 6H, 2S.
Yeah, that's all the H.
Sorry, not 2S. Sorry, not 2S. 2H.
2H.
All of those like get buffs.
Ooh,
super
the pot buster. Hit him with the pose. Nice, coming up from Cement Eater, taking game 1. Cement Eater, seeing him play and kind of knowing how he plays, because he's definitely an Ontario player. He's very aggressive, and Busta Rhymes is also aggressive, but Busta also knows how to kind of play back when he needs to. So it's very interesting seeing how, or it's going to be very interesting seeing how Busta kind of deals with how aggressive Cement Eater is in this bracket.
Yeah, and it's even if they decide not to do, like anyone who decides decides like not to play as aggressive with this Naga versus Pop matchup, it's just hard for Timken to get past those buttons quite often.
Oh yeah, Timken's definitely biggest problem is the fact that he does have long-reaching buttons, but they are very susceptible to being punished.
Sets up for the Guru. Impact, backdash, good backdash. Looking forward, tries to go for the command grab, doesn't work, but manages to get a bite out of Crime here.
Man said, you taste tasty. Let me get a bite.
You know what I'm saying? We're doing a whole meal right now. I gotta get the snack where necessary, right? Staring at a whole 6 feet tall snack bar. Good JD. Give pressure for a little bit.
Very close for both players.
Cancel.
5 beam.
That is standard fare for pressure. 2K into 5D. Very strong.
Very, very strong.
Impact. Impact.
Okay. Hit with the 4-piece nugget combo. Car cancel. We loved car cancels. Toss him away.
Good pop buster.
Tries to Guru to impact him round start. Hits him with the window. Through that. Okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was immediate. Yo.
Ooh,
Oh, go backdash. And baits him. He gets a
Okay.
combo off of that. That is death.
gone. Man got sent flying. I'm very surprised. What's it called? Busta isn't going for a lot of kind of knockdowns with the double meaty Garuda, because it is in fact true. But I'm surprised whenever he gets a chance, he's not going for the kind of knockdown Garuda, because that's a very useful tool for Potemkin in this matchup, especially with the guard crush.
Yeah, I agree. I think most of the reason why is because of what we saw there. Like, we see a situation where he tries to put up Garuda and he either gets out of it. It's going
Oh,
especially based off of how like he plays. Like, see that this is the specific scenario. He keeps trying to move. He's trying to avoid. Just block it.
I think that situation earlier, what you're talking about, is that it wasn't a hard knockdown, so it was very hard for him to. He couldn't meaty him.
Correct.
Ooh,
Entirely right.
Busta
Perfect.
responding
Busta
with
Rhymes.
7
Well done.
golden letters. Okay.
Garuda again. Not trying to jump that time. That
Out
time
of
he
it.
jumped. Cement has been holding either up forward or up back pretty much most of this time. That he's assuming Garuda Impact comes out. Good super though.
Wahaz, sorry,
Right, so
apologies, I'm so used to calling him. Benir is one of those players who just always tends to rely on pattern recognition and just assumes it's going to hit, so he's just always going to hold it. Ooh! Tries a fast PRC, does not get anything out of it.
Oh wow, that was a crazy backdash. That 5S actually didn't hit. Interesting. There's not really backdash like invincibility. Only on certain moves and certain things is that going to be the case. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm like surprised. Still trying to figure out why that is the case in Strive. Why exactly backdashes in some situations are actually whiff on the buttons, despite it being a close normal.
I think that certain characters just have, if I'm thinking about what you're putting down correctly, you're asking why certain things on backdash hit, but some of them don't.
Correct. Because Strive has like proximity normals.
Yes. So I believe it's that because either A, the hitbox, or it could be the active frames of the moves. Because certain moves have certain active frames. Ooh, PRC Potemkin. Certain moves just go through it. And certain characters have really good backdashes, such as Potemkin, where most things just go through it. He just has a grappler backdash. And I believe that's all heavyweights have that. I could be wrong, but I believe most heavyweights have that.
Interesting. Okay. I like the active frames is something it is for some reason I hadn't even really considered, but that's super interesting so far. Like, I think that's because there's definitely been times, because I've definitely seen multiple times where Nago has tried to backdash that close S and still gets clapped, like still gets like smacked up, and that's why I'm like, wonder what's up with that. But even still, great win to Busta Rhymes there. The first hit, good slide head as well to eat the pressure, the incoming pressure.
Nice Garuda. What if you wanted to do a move, but Potemkin said, whatever he says. Mega Fist, there we go, that's the word.
You mean Mega Fist? Yeah.
But if you wanted to do a move, Potemkin said Mega Fist.
Right, yeah, that's pretty fair. As a Viking player, I don't really have to deal about that much. I just react to the Mega Fist. Oh, he's about to pop. He wasn't paying attention.
Might see a TOD. No, sadly not.
No.
It's even worse as for when you play Sim, because I'm a Sim main, so when Potemkin does any of that, I have nothing to deal with it, so it's even worse on my end. Ooh. Gold Burst.
Oh.
What? Okay.
I think he had assumed when he saw the Fukio that he was going to commit to whatever he was about to do. Especially since he saw him in the air, I think Busta Rhymes assumed that, like, when he moved forward, that he was going to slide into it. He had taken a risk there, a gamble. Didn't pay off, unfortunately. Good tech.
We will see if it's going to pay off, though. Ooh. Sadly, does not. Cement Eater just eating the cement today. Man said, give me my nutrients. Let me take this W.
Yeah, the Fukio forward is very, very interesting. Like not necessarily like interesting in like a bad way because it's like I mean it's Fukio forward. Most of the time,
It
people are
is
going to
Fukio
do
forward.
that off of so like most of the time people are going to do that off of certain hits, off of certain strings. That's just sort of how it works. But Fukio forward, as far as I know, can always be checked by 5P. Because you
I
don't
don't
have
know if
time
it's
to like. Well, what'd you
because
say?
I've never done it. I said I don't. I said I can't fact check you this. I'm gonna believe you, but I don't know because I've don't have much Nago matchup experience in the sense of what he can and can't check Fukio with.
The thing is that like, the reason why is because like he can do like special into special cancel, but the thing is for him to
Yeah.
do like Fukio forward into like DP or Fukio forward into like Beyblade, it's going to be super super hard to do that because most of the time like you're still in the recovery of like showing back up on screen because Fukio's like a teleport, quote unquote, right?
Yeah.
Um, so like that's how it works, and I think that anytime where somebody Fukio forwards, you sort of have to train yourself at all times to be ready to hit 5P. I try and make it like a habit to hit 5P out of like on Fukio 4. Of course, it's not going to work every single time. It's not going to work at every time. It's not going to work in every casing. Or sorry, no, I do believe it does work in every time in every casing. It's just what type of normal or like what type of I guess what type of situation it leads up to. Like so he's like on a Fukio forward and like you're on the ground getting up in a knockdown situation. Of course, it's not going to be as effective as like you just fought like 5 ping normally. But I think that was done extremely well on the side of Cement Eater. I think it was done very,
It
very
was.
well on the side of Busta Rhymes as well. And now we have moved on. Well, that means that Busta Rhymes, not Busta Rhymes, excuse me, Cement Eater moves on to fight Sheepsy in the losers finals to see who goes on to grand finals and takes on Fantome.
I don't know how that's gonna go, especially since Cement Eater is definitely one of those players who but definitely knows how to deal with the Jackal a lot. I've seen kind of in our matches we played against in the Discord, they definitely know what to do in the sense of against the Jackal clones and what to do in the sort of overall Jackal matchup.
I so agree. Yeah, this is a rough matchup for Nago because Nago doesn't have a reversal until they get meter. In a situation like this, his only option is really the FD or find like a hole in the pressure and try and see if you can mash. But like this is a bad matchup for Nago.
Oh yeah,
Jacko rushes him down pretty hard.
especially since Nago doesn't really, as you said, doesn't have anything really to counteract anything that the minions can do. But even if he does, she can just check him with either a frame trap or by any chance the guard crush she has in defense of the minions, whatever the word is, the shield. That's the correct word.
That's super hard to stop.
Okay.
Nice wall splat.
Break?
Might be dead if he's 6Hs. No, he's another pick. Once again.
We love scaling and strive.
5H.
Ooh.
Gives the throw.
Jack's gonna get a pressure again.
The throw.
Ooh. Nice
Ooh,
backdash. Cement Eater checking at the 5K.
See it.
I'm not seeing a lot of Beyblades from Cement Eater.
I think he's a little bit concerned about doing that. He wants to take pressure that is like guaranteed. Like he wants to take pressure that is guaranteed. After the nerfs to Nago, I believe Beyblade isn't as effective as it used to be. So you're going to be in a situation where you're not going to use it as often. A return perfect. It took a round, but it was a return perfect on the side of Cement Eater. Very, very well done.
Very, very well done. Yes. Man said, "You know what? If you're gonna take a perfect on me, I'm gonna take that back. I ain't gonna let that fly."
Yeah, it's like so. What's interesting about that is because, and I'm glad you actually brought that up because the nerfs and the changes to Nagarayuki are pretty big. because Beyblade being -3 now instead of it being 0 like how it used to be is a big change. That's why you're not seeing it as much. And why the DP is being used more frequently is because of the delay. You can frame trap really hard with that, and so that's how you sort of have to play Nago now.
But if he does throw it out, it's still technically, because it is -3. Anything above -4 is technically considered not safe. If he could technically, it is still technically safe.
It is, but he'd lose his turn, and in a situation where like he's fighting Jacko, that's so like that's so aggressive, that's not what he wants. He'd rather look for situations like this. Good RC,
nice block in the first.
It's about to be big damage. Up another 6H. Yeah. Next hit, Submit finds it, he'll win. Oh, just Fukio's right in. I like it. I like it.
No minions. No minions today. Wow, oh my god, Sven's just blocking everything. Ooh, nice Beyblade. Okay. Ooh, I got hit there. SSC? Okay, okay.
This might be definitely supers.
Nice. Yeah.
Jacko doesn't have a lot of health. I'm pretty sure
I don't...
That last hit of wall break does more damage than people think.
Could be? Yeah.
Another pixel, Jesus. All day with these pixels here.
Nago's super, as good as it is, it doesn't really do that much damage, unfortunately. It does a lot of damage, but like usually when it's up against the wall, its damage usually is like pretty minuscule.
Yeah, because of typically like the scaling and such, you are correct. You are correct on that. I've seen that kill Jacko like quite a few times. I guess that was the one situation where like that wasn't.
Yeah.
That wasn't the case. That last hit in that wall break does it does way more than people think it does. So I just assumed that it was going to be in a situation where it was going to end up killing her. But you're correct. No, it just wasn't enough. It was too much scaling.
Strive scaling is absolutely abysmal. Sometimes you get like kills off of things that are like the person has like a whole chunk of health, and sometimes you get a kill off a person that has like less than like 10%. It's weird.
You mentioned the terminology earlier, mental stack, and I think that's what's happening right now to Shitsu. I think Cement Eater is doing so well at baiting bursts, keeping pressure, and going. He's been going crazy so far. Another 2H just to find it. So what's interesting is even though like I know this isn't like a great matchup for Nago, that I believe it's like maybe a little bit even. Is like what's crazy is that when somebody's normals hit the minions, they extend. Their active frames become longer because it's technically considered hit stun when she throws out her minions. So whenever Nago 2Hs, and if he hits a minion, it's going to be more active than Shitsu is going to think it is. And there's been a couple times where like Shitsu's been getting clipped, but so far, almost all of those times, 9 times out of 10, it's been off of the hit of a minion.
Okay. Cement Eater is so good at blocking today. Oh my lord.
Still got his burst. Probably not going to use it. No reason to. Has to use it on this next upcoming hit.
Ooh, BRC Super.
Sir.
He's dead.
Well played, sir.
Deep Sea does not.
Well played.
Hit him with the pose. Oh, takes the health.
What's messed up is that if Jacko gets one hit, he's actually dead. But no, I respect that. I respect that. The Beyblade, the constant damage and things like that, just putting out as much as you can. Definitely respect that for sure. The hits. 6H.
It's very hard for Nago.
Gold burst.
Ooh, throws another 2H. As you said.
Throw. Yep.
Ooh,
Trot.
Forward, then back.
Well done.
That is
found the
game
nice.
Cement Eater. Woo!
Wasn't enough time.
That was clean. Man could not. As you mentioned, the mental stack, as we both mentioned, mental stack definitely plays a big factor here, and I think Wonton definitely got the Sheepsy there. Poor man.
Like, Cement Eater had 2 killer baits, and that's all he really needed. It was the Fukio forward, Fukio back on the burst, and the Fukio forward, Fukio back at the end that we just saw there with the super. Insane.
Very
the adaptation was very crazy on that.
Man probably thought, he's like, oh, I see him Fukio forward. He's gonna come forward so I can, you know, do something to him. Cement Eater's like, you know what? Nah, you know what? I'm gonna back off. And that probably just absolutely destroyed this poor man's mental.
Yeah, it's really hard to deal with stuff like that. It's too much, man. Sometimes it is the mental stack. But here we are at Grand Finals with Fantome versus Cement Eater. Now this matchup I know is hard for Nago, for sure. Yep, exactly because of that wall. 5H in a situation where you have to get past that can be really bad. But once Eddie's gone, it is
hard to can't do anything.
It's going to be a knockdown too.
It's even more disadvantage for Cement Eater because he has to climb up and win. I believe it's 6 matches because it's the first of 3. He has to win 6 matches twice or in a row in order, not in a row, but 6 matches in total in order to possibly close up the game. Meanwhile, Fantome only has to win 3.
Breaking so far from Fantome. Gets the burst on the side of Cement Eater, but still is in block stun. Set up that wall again, more than likely. It's coming. Calls Eddie back. There it is. Tried to see if they could punish the 2P or like any hit in general. They were just Fantome was just looking for a hit. He was hoping the drills would punish him after.
He was
the wall.
Ooh, fire.
Did he do? Oh, nice, good throw. Command grab.
He did.
And this is actually pretty huge for Nagro.
Ooh, thought he was gonna go behind. Probably blocked the wrong way. That didn't wall break. Or, I mean, that didn't stick the wall.
Good job, Fantome. Fantome finds the IAD. Well, not the IAD, but like sort of the slow fall in. I believe the slow fall in, I believe, HS or heavy slash on the side of Zato.
Ooh, Fantome throws up the blow.
Again. Pretty big deal. Gold burst.
Gold burst. So continuous pressure.
Here we go. Sharpen the water.
Holy.
Finds the damage. It's going to be a hard knockdown as well. And he's up. Call him in.
Then you're just trying to block and can't really do much.
Oh, another backdash again.
Ooh, I think that's death.
He's chomping over. Dead. Oh, that hit. That's crazy. It pushed him back from K5P, but regardless, Cement Eater takes a game here in Grand Finals.
Wow. For the fact that it's so not in his favor, Wonton pulled out for that first match and said, you know what, let me set the pace of how I want to play this game. I'm going to make sure I'm going to win this match. Or, well, this game.
So far, it wasn't doing too bad. I genuinely believe that Cement Eater was doing well with how they were picking their aggression. How they were picking their aggression, but for now, we're back into another game.
Okay.
The game in mindset.
Ooh.
Go back from the command grab, but that is so okay. That is criminal. And will always be criminal. Command grab frog, criminal. Actually heinous. Like, that's insane. The 5H and the RC, red RC cancel. 2K2D. Invite Hell to set up the meaty. Here we go again. What is the setup this time?
Ooh.
Up back.
Cement Eater backdash
Put backdash on the
again.
command grab.
I feel like Cement Eater might be
There's
getting
the
the mental stuck again.
2. There goes the drills. Man, that is
Okay,
so...
tries to 6P.
Zato is so cool, but that is so cheap. That is absolutely insane.
Ooh, pops.
Oh, blows up. Can't do anything. It's the inflatable tube, man. Can't do it.
Yep. Any hit kills here.
Oh, good 5S.
Ooh.
Close S is an underrated, but actually really good anti-air against more vertical
It is
targets.
very, very
Lucky
good
like
anti-air.
that, it's really, really good.
I think I've been caught with close S more than 2H in the time I played Guilty Gear in Nago. Anytime I'm in the air, I used to get hit with close S more than anything.
Good call out. Once a minute either. Clap your hands. Give a round of applause. Rock in the water.
Might doesn't send the burst, which is a smart idea. Bringing it to the next round. Both players have burst here.
Let's call it back in.
Ooh.
Mix. Good blocks, but tries to backdash again and instead gets caught.
Command grab. In with the bite. Wants a tasty bite of that snack. Wants a bite of the pickle. Ooh,
Good
nice.
block. Baited out the burst with that. Still anybody's game.
Whoa.
They both blew our seed, and he's slow.
Shark Week, yo! I saw the
That
blood in
was
the
one
water.
of those. That was one of those unfortunate, so rare situations where like they both blew our seed at the exact same time, and
It
then
just- whatever
what
came
ends
out
up
last.
happening. Right, exactly. Like he picked command grab, so his recovery was so much longer than like Phantom just holding up, and so that's how he ended up getting punished. Oh, that's so sad. So
Not to
unfortunate
mention-
with that.
What made it even worse is that the BRC for his grab stayed along a little bit too much longer than he wanted to, and I feel like Phantom wanted to watch Cement Eater see what he did wrong. He made him glide in the air and made him watch it.
No.
Mm.
Put pressure on. Well done from Cement Eater. Trying to get the command grab as I find it.
Ooh,
There's 5D. Burst.
respect the burst.
Wants the round, but it's still Eddie. Command grabbed again. Got punished. What did he try to hit? I think he tried to check him.
Probably could be a 2P.
Oh, nice.
What?
Good stuff.
I hit.
Yeah, you can get it
Okay.
twice at 6H. Oh, yeah, it doesn't even matter.
Wow,
He gets a
okay.
5S as well.
Wow.
Yeah, if you so that's like something people don't do as often because you're not going to see Nago with like 2 bars like that for the most part. But the distance, the spacing allows you to get 2 supers back to back, and then you can 6H or you can 5S like how he did. It's you have to be at that specific spacing though. It's the only way to be able to get it.
That is absolutely insane. I've never seen that. That's good to know.
It's because it's a rare scenario. It doesn't happen as much, but it's still cool to see. It also
Very
does like very minuscule damage, so most people aren't going to do that. But in that scenario, it would actually kill.
I mean, damage is damage, so if it was going to kill, it's all that matters. Spend that bar, as I also come from fighters, as people say there. Doesn't matter if you're spending your bar, just spend it for the kill.
Absolutely. Yeah, somebody that plays like fighters like quite a bit myself. Yeah, like absolutely. If you gotta spend it, spend the cash. You'll get it back.
It's meter. You get, this is an Arsenal skin. You get meter back so fast. Ooh, backdash command grab.
Tried to wait.
check
Thought
on
he was
the
gonna try and go
2H.
for the burst. Oh, that's the same premise as Jacko. That sucks.
Oh.
That's the same premise as Jacko. So what happened, the reason why that changed so quickly and so frequently is the same premise as the minions. Nago hit Eddie, and since Eddie wasn't in the wall, so it didn't block the attack, it extended the active frames of his 5H. So he swung, it hit Eddie, Phantom thought that he could go in, and actually just got
And it
clipped.
happened to
Like, he
hit
just
him.
got smacked. Yeah, and it hit him. He
Timing.
wasn't expecting it to still be active. Yeah. that's like the cool thing, but also the the messed up thing about the about like characters that are like puppet characters that are like minions, because it can really mess up your timing on certain things. It can work for your opponents. It can work in favor of your opponents sometimes.
Yeah, especially since, you know, a lot of characters who do play puppets think that, oh, my puppet got hit, it's not gonna hit me, I'm fine, and like, as you said, they get clipped. That's kind of that's kind of a big reason why I don't play puppet characters.
Oh, try to Fukio again. Good block on the YRC.
Very good block.
Duel 2. Let's rock.
Ooh.
Morphing in and out of that wall and then calling back Eddie to allow him to use it multiple times is why this matchup can be very hard for Nago. Like, still, Cement Eater's doing a great job at keeping pressure, finding their openings, and forcing their way out by any means necessary, whether that's through a backdash, a wake up super, whatever it is.
Ooh,
but like, good 5K.
Ooh, that 5K was so meaty. Eating good tonight.
Fukio 4.
What will he do? 2K2D?
Sets up Eddie again. Command grab.
Okay.
That...
Oh, I think it might be end here. Yep.
Yeah, and it does that just to prevent like
burst.
They wouldn't have had the burst anyway, but just does that just to prevent them from bursting in case they did off of some off checks. Would have had enough to get out of the combo. Yeah, that's
what every person should be doing. If you know your opponent's going to burst and you're close to the wall thing, spend the meter. Sorry, what were you going to say?
No. Like by all means, that's like a perfect point to make genuinely. I think that it's so unfortunate. The reason why that command grab is so powerful is not just because it's a command grab. It's because if you aren't careful with when you choose to up back against Eddie, sometimes it can clip your startup frames when you're trying to jump and you end up getting hit. It's really messed up. Like it's so hard to deal with that. So if you block that and you can avoid all that, it's so impressive. It's actually super impressive. Calling Eddie back in. Yep, before it's too late. This is Fantome found the flow chart. He found the pressure here. He has to keep calling Eddie back. Now we just going for chill.
Because I believe if he allows Fantome to absolutely chip him, I think Fantome is gonna. No, not Fantome. Sorry, if Fantome allows Cement Eater, sorry, apologies there, to kind of check Eddie, you know, his pressure kind of ends a lot.
So that's good. 2K. Good throw. That's again.
Okay.
We roll this again. This could be it. This is so... man, this is terrible.
Sharp, I just smell it.
Bob, round of applause.
Yeah, I think that might be it.
That is definitely it. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Cement, you played well, fam. To hold out, like to hold out as much as you did was super impressive. Was super impressive, and I don't want that like